Good morning. It's just a little chilly right now, but it's sure to warm up nicely. Had a lovely night's sleep last night next to a little stream. And we are starting out this morning with the fun part of the day, playing hide and seek with the trail. Right now it's obvious where it's at, but I hear this whole section is where it's kind of washed out. So we'll have some fun dodging around and seeing what that looks like. I think this is such a cool stretch of trail. Definitely different than what we've done so far. Following a stream, winding our way up this canyon. I think this goes for like 8 miles or something like that. And I'm also patiently waiting for the section where the trail is completely washed out. But it's still pretty obvious where the trail's at. There we go. All right. Some cool marbling colorization in the rocks. I think this is going to be about the last opportunity to get water from Mission Creek. Comments in Far Out say that you go further north, it gets cloudier and more algae and stuff in it. So I think I'm going to fill up with like 1.5 liters here. I think the next water source is about 6 miles or so ahead. There's a short side trail to a spring, so I think I'm going to hit that up next. I think my thoughts on this section are that it's pretty cool, pretty fun. It's pretty easy to stay on path and find where it's at. I'd say 99% of this section, it's easy and obvious to stay on path. There's about a 1% of the trail to where you kind of get down to where it crosses the water and you're like, okay, which way do I go? And you kind of hunt around for a little bit. Then you get lost for a little bit and you're like, oh, there's the trail. So it's not too bad overall. Break time in the shade. Entering Sangonio Wilderness. Cool. Definitely getting cooler as we get higher and higher and higher up. I absolutely love this feeling of being all alone out here. There's just something about, like, I don't know, an element of danger to it all if I had no idea what I was doing. But I feel just confident enough that there's water up ahead and I can take care of all my needs. But if you are alone out here and stuck and had no idea what you're doing, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Definitely a forest fire in this area. I'm officially tired of going uphill all day. I'm starting to slow way down. Well, I made it to the split off for the last water source for like the next 16 plus miles. There was a bunch of hikers hanging where the junction's at, so I didn't want to pull my camera out, but it's like a 0.1 down this little side trail. There's a spring here. This is a nice little area. Picnic tables, definitely some camping options up here. Pine cones. Something I've kept an eye out for. I have not seen any monster pine cones that are like the size of my head. These are all like the size of your hand. I'm on the lookout for the monster pine cones. I just haven't spotted one yet though. But I gotta get like, I don't know, a minimum of 3 liters. I may get more. I just hate carrying more than that. Water's heavy. Here's what the spring looks like. Just dripping right out of the rocks and roots up there. And you can scoop it out of the bucket. And I just learned that this is a Steller's jay, because I've heard of that species, and I've seen a couple of these guys around, but that's what that is. Back on trail after a nice break. Loaded up with 3 liters of water. There's been a couple of good blowdowns in this section. They've been easy enough to maneuver over. Nice shot down the valley. Big Bear's down there around the corner, just out of sight. Well, I'm stopped for a break in the shade, and I just happened to double check to see if I got any cell service up here, and I do. So I finally got a hold. I gave Kenny's place a call, and they do have accommodations for me getting in there for tomorrow night. So that's awesome. I'm locked into that place. I've heard good reviews. I've heard it's pretty cool. So now I just got to push and get there. So it's going to be, I think I'm already going to do a couple extra miles today than what I was planning, because originally it was going to be like a 17.5 mile day or something like that today. But I think I'm going to do a few more extra miles, get closer to like 19.5, 20 miles for today, which will make it like closer to 20 miles for tomorrow and just make it easier and quicker to get into town. The terrain the last couple of miles since the water source has been way easier than the crazy, continuous, steep at times climb that we've already had to do. So I think I can go pretty quick. 20 miles tomorrow getting down in there. But they'll pick you up from the trail and take you right in, and they got all the normal hostel services, so it's gonna be awesome. Just a few more miles and we'll be at camp for today. I'm almost to camp. The trail's wrapped around a little bit, and I got a view again of there's San Jacinto in the background, and I could even see Palm Springs from here. It just seems crazy to me. It's kind of down there somewhere. I think we made it. I think this is the spot I'm aiming for. Maybe this will work. I got my tent up. I'm all settled in. Got dinner going, doing the instant mashed potatoes with the tuna packets. Still good. Got a couple other guys that have crowded around, so we're packed in nice and cozy in this little spot. And I got about a little over 20 miles left for tomorrow to get into the road crossing where I can get picked up and get into Big Bear. So tomorrow will be pretty good. It should be a lot less strenuous of a day for getting into there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and sign off in this clip and get one more day of hiking done and get into town. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. A little chilly last night. Not as cold as other nights, but it's definitely a little on the chilly side. Right around sunset, it got pretty gusty with the winds. My tent is not very rigid, and it was definitely bending in half with the wind strength. But after like an hour, that kind of died down and it was fine throughout the night. There's no winds right now. We got somewhere around 10 miles or so to the next water source. Doing like a 20-mile day, getting into Big Bear. I'm coming up on a famous landmark that used to be here, this facility with the barking dogs. This is where the private zoo was located. They had a bunch of trained animals. They were used in Hollywood movies and TV commercials. So if they needed a grizzly bear, they got a grizzly bear from these guys. If you need a tiger in your movies, you call these guys. But I guess the animals and all that was relocated to somewhere else. Now it's under new ownership and just a bunch of dogs up here. But that's what all these cages and stuff are. This is interesting, just laid out in animal bones. I think it says wasteland. Interesting. I'm just going to take a minute to note that there's a couple of sections that have been rocky like this that would usually beat my feet up. But I think maybe my feet are getting used to it. Or maybe because the sections aren't very long. But the bottoms of my feet are not getting sore and beat up by walking on little rocks, which is a very, very good thing. A little bit of a water cache here, but I'm still good. I don't need any, I'll save it for someone else. That's only a few more miles till my intended next water source. Getting some of the first views down to Big Bear. Way down up in that valley somewhere. Well, now the trail's been pretty rocky for the last couple miles, but my feet are still doing okay. I'll see how long it takes before I start eating my words and start limping my way into town. I think this is the raster camp area. And I don't think this was my water source, but I'm going to test this out. No, whatever that is dead. Yeah, I think it's like just a 0.1 further is the water source. It's a nice little chill spot. I think I may chill here for a bit because I'm not completely out of water. Yeah, I'll hang here for a bit and then move on. There's the little stream water source. I think I'm just going to fill up to 2 liters. That should get me all the way into town. I'm all filled up with water. There was a bunch of bees in there trying to get their fill as well. It reminded me on the AT, the water source I had to get to, which was near a shelter. Can't remember the name of it, but it was the one that overlooks Burke's Garden, I think is what it was called. The little geological depression in Virginia. But we're over halfway done for the day, distance-wise. We got less than 10 miles from here. Mostly all downhill now. trees are getting smaller. I've been walking on a lot of rocks today. It's been a nuisance, but not really that much of a bother, which is still good. It just prevents me from going too fast. Kind of a tripping hazard and an ankle twisting hazard. Some of the outskirts of Big Bear. I still got like at least 6 trail miles or so to go. I think these are Joshua trees, and I don't think I've seen one yet on trail. Another water cache, I'm good. Welcome to Big Bear. We'll take a peek inside the cooler though. Nah, I don't need anything. Oh, we're still like 4 miles or so from town. I'm guessing we cut through here. Oh, we'll be there in a little bit. Got a whole group on horseback up ahead. I'll probably be looking to pass them in just a minute. And there's like a group of 8 horses or so. That's kind of cool. Now it looks like they're splitting off down a side trail. I'm continuing off to the left. That's pretty cool. I'm going this way. Man, who the heck lives in that house? That house looks awesome. Right off the PCT. Well, I just got off the phone with Kenny's place. And when I called them yesterday, they said just give a half an hour heads up before I reach where the trail crosses Highway 18. So I just went ahead and did that. We're about... I'll get there a little faster than half hour. I don't want him waiting on me. I'd rather wait on him kind of thing. He's going out of his way to pick me up. So we'll get there, we'll chill for a little bit, and we will have a ride to the hostel in a little bit. Oh, there's also some little Trail Magic water cache. I'm good there. From Party Boy, all right. Let's see, Party Boy, through hiked in 2016, lived 3/4 of a mile away from the trail. Coming up on the trailhead parking lot. It's 3 o'clock and we've done over 20 miles. That's pretty good. So ride should be here in just a few more minutes. Made it to Kenny's place. That's pretty awesome. It's all the needs that you would need for a hostel, just kind of renting it out of his house. But he was saying it's $45 a night, and that'll get you free use of like making coffee and tea and stuff. There's some free stuff around too. Cookies, donuts, fruit, beers and whatnot in the fridge. So it's all just free use hiker snacks. We're gonna make a resupply run here in a minute down into the town, and then we'll do a dinner run a little bit later. Well, I'm back from the resupply shopping. I'm figuring it's gonna be 4 days for the next stretch, and that'll position me to get just before the McDonald's at Cajon Pass to get in there for breakfast. But I'll show some of that later. Right now, a couple people are kind of reorganizing their resupply stuff here at the house, back at Kenny's place. And then he's gonna run us into town, and we're gonna go get some dinner here in a little bit. So we're just chilling, eating some nachos. This place is pretty cool, chill spot, very accommodating. Comfortably, there's room for like 10 to 12, but he said he's had a max of like 29 or so here at the house, so you can jam them in if he needs to. So that's no worries. But I'll check back in once we're getting some dinner in town somewhere. back from dinner. That was really good. Had a nice chicken salad. And I'll go over my food resupply stuff here in a minute, but I don't have a 100% fix on what this next stretch is going to look like, distance goals and stuff, just because I think this next day when I get back on trail tomorrow, we're going to be kind of narrowing out of here. We're going to have breakfast like at 9, so I don't know how many miles I'm going to do on this first day out, but I think overall it's going to be about a 4-day stretch. I'm trying to position myself so I get to the McDonald's first thing in the morning is basically what my goal is. So I'll turn the camera around here, I'll show you what I got for food, and then we'll close it out for the night. And here's what my food looks like for this stretch. I'm going to go with these little things for the breakfasts. I got 4 days worth of snacks, a bunch of bars and stuff, meat and cheese sticks, and then my dinners I'm going to go with wraps this go around. The Nutella, the peanut butter, and the tuna. It is actually pretty awesome together. But that's what 4 days of food looks like. And I think that's going to do it. So we'll just see what breakfast looks like in the morning. Should be pretty awesome. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys all in the next one.